Still give it a minute.
Or wait until she comes. Oh, here comes our lady
From where?
our friend
You don't have any.
from Robin. You want to sign in there
The Township
for us real quick?
Oh, I
I mean,
see.
you don't have to, but if you want
He
to.
just has acquaintances.
You didn't hear that.
Say Robin's a
That's
friend.
true.
Whoever comes to the
Never
township
does.
meeting more than once is a friend, you know? And this is her second, this is her second time. Right?
Yeah, I think so. Right, so.
And since then, since last month, you've been to Texas and back, right?
Yeah,
I think.
yeah,
Okay.
I sure have.
Is it time?
It's time.
Okay, it's October 4th, we'll call a meeting to order with the pledge to the flag. I pledge
allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you, everybody. Welcome to the month of October, 2023, roll call.
Mark Folk?
Yes.
Mark Frazier?
Here.
Francis Griffin?
Sure.
Kelly Schmidt, yes. Troy Parker?
Here.
Okay, everybody, the agenda is presented.
Motion to approve the agenda.
Troy,
Second.
Butch, all in favor?
Aye.
Okay. What time is it, Troy?
7:01.
7:01 PM. Thorn Apple Drive public hearing. Okay, I'll open it. And Kelly, give me resolution 13-2023. Supervisor and assessing officer of the township has prepared a special assessment roll in the total amount of $5,700 per year for 5 consecutive years, covering all parcels of land in the Thorn Apple Drive Special Assessment District of 2023. As affixed therein, a certificate as required by said resolution. 1, that said special assessment roll shall be filed with the township clerk, Kelly, and shall be available for public examination during regular working hours, Tuesday, Wednesdays, 9 until 4. And the township board shall meet at 7 o'clock tonight, October 4th, 2023, at Prairie Township Hall located here at 2770 Ellsworth Road, Prairie, Michigan, to review such special assessment roll and hear the objections thereof. The township clerk. Are you going
You don't have to read that whole thing, Mark. It was published twice in the Argus Press.
Almost
And
done. One more sentence.
okay.
All resolutions and parts of resolutions as far as the conflict with the provisions of the within resolution are hereby rescinded. A motion was offered by blank.
So this is the final hearing for the Thorn Apple Drive Special Assessment District. This is where we approve the roll on it. So the proposal, which is how it has been done in the past. So normally on private road special assessments, normally you would assess it by frontage foot.
Okay.
But we, in balancing the benefit and the burden, which is the job of the board in doing this, we have adjusted it to equal based on the parcels. And the reason for that is the parcels closest to Beard Road, who use the least of the road, have the biggest frontage, and the ones at the very back have teeny tiny little pies, but they travel the whole length of the road, and so if we did it on frontage foot, the ones at the front would pay a lot more, and the ones in the back that travel the whole road would pay very low.
Okay.
No, this has been set up this way for 20 years or so. So, but we're allowed to balance the
And that's
benefit
fair.
of the
And
burden.
that's fair.
And that's, well, it's been challenged a couple times, and it's won each time, so,
Yeah, fair. Okay.
yeah. So, but I mean,
So the first resolution, 13-2023, was the information to schedule a hearing for the assessment roll on Thorn Apple Drive. So that is the first resolution. Then what Troy was talking about was the second resolution
Okay.
of 14-2023.
Well, Kelly, do we need to go in with the
We need
first
to
one?
make a motion to do the scheduling of the hearing.
Okay.
what do you mean? This is the hearing.
The bottom of
I
the first
know.
page. She wants to get this in.
Oh, okay.
Okay, a motion offered by
Me.
Mark Frazier and seconded by Butch Griffin. Upon roll call vote, all in favor? Roll call, Kelly, when you get time.
Francis Griffin,
Yes.
Kelly Schmidt, yes. Troy Connolly?
Yes.
Mark Foltz?
Yes.
Mark Frazier?
Yes.
5, nay, 0.
Yes.
Okay,
So
Kelly.
that was the first one.
Okay.
That set the.
Next, Shiawassee County, Thornapple Drive Special Assessment District, and, okay. Supervisor stated that the next order of business was a consideration of the assessment roll in Thornapple Special District, and all persons present were invited to inspect the same and make comments. Written protest was received on September 26, 2023, from Ina Earnhardt, who lives on the road, stating, I quote, protest being included in the Thornapple Drive Special Assessment District because my frontage is on Beard Road, not Thornapple Drive. I have no driveway on Thornapple Road and do not use Thornapple to access my property.
Duly noted.
So this notice of hearing was published on September 16th and also on September 23rd. And first-class mail was sent to, the notices were sent first-class mail to each property owner of the record on the assessment roll.
Good.
You do need a,
Lastly,
No, there's more.
okay.
Go ahead.
Lastly, Resolution 14, 2023,
Yeah.
highlighted, the Township Board of the Township of Perry, Shiawassee County, Michigan, after due and legal notice, has conducted a public hearing on a proposed special assessment roll prepared by the supervisor of the township for the purpose of defraying the cost of maintaining Thornapple Drive. Now whereas be resolved, 1, the assessment roll submitted by the supervisor of the township be designated the Thornapple Drive Special Assessment District of 2023 and shall hereby be confirmed as the assessment roll of said district. 2, the terms of the district shall continue for a period of 5 years, collected with the winter taxes 2023, 2024, 25, 26, and 27. Next point, the first such assessment shall be collected with the 2023 winter property taxes and shall be in the total sum of $5,700. 5, the sum of be divided 19 equal parts, the people that on the road, 19 equal parts. It's intended that the first installment for the special assessment shall be $300 on each parcel in the special assessment district. Number 8, annual adjustments in costs shall be made without further hearings unless there is an incremental cost increase that exceeds the 10%. 9, if any installment of special assessment is not paid when due, then the installment shall be considered delinquent and there shall be a penalty of course 1% for each month or a fraction of a month that the installment remains unpaid. 10, the assessments made in said special assessment roll are hereby ordered and directed to collect by the township treasurer, and the township clerk shall deliver a special assessment roll to the treasurer with reward attached, commanding the treasurer to collect such assessments in accordance with the statute in and such cases made and provided. All resolutions and part resolutions insofar as they conflict with the provision of resolution be the same hereby received.
Okay, so now you need to open it up for comment.
Open up. Yes?
Perfect timing. Hi, Tim Kubu, I live on Thornapple. When we received the information in the mail, I just was wondering about, I think it was item number 8 that you just read.
The annual adjustment?
Yeah.
so,
If you could explain that a little bit more.
so we are allowed to adjust it by 10% a year without a hearing.
Really?
Generally, in this case, we wouldn't, because we kind of let you guys, function as a group. I don't know, let's say it that way. But if there were a situation where it really had to go up and there was general consensus, we can adjust it by up to 10% a year without hearing.
Okay, great. So theoretically, crazy winter, tons of plowing,
Correct.
I could get everybody on the road and say,
As long as the
we have a
majority
majority of
feel
people.
it's okay, yes, the township board can adjust it it would be our September meeting each year.
okay, so if we needed to, I could put together like a petition like we did for
Yeah. It doesn't have to be a formal petition, but just simply a gathering, and we agreed to move it up this month due to extra road maintenance.
Perfect, that's great. I didn't know
That's
we
true
could
of
do
any
that.
special assessment, yeah. We have the authority to adjust it by 10%.
Great, that's wonderful news, thank you. That was the only question I had.
Okay, thank you very much. And your name again?
Tim Kubu, K-U-B.
Tim's the one who circulated
Yeah,
it.
thank you for that. Okay, everyone present had opportunity to speak about this? Okay.
And there's just one written protest.
Only considered the same. Resolution offered by
I'll make a motion.
Tim, or by Troy, and seconded by
Butch.
Butch. Okay, and on roll call?
Kelly Schmidt, yes. Troy Carmely?
Yes.
Mark Foltz?
Yes.
Mark Frazier?
Yes.
Francis Griffith?
Yes.
5, nay, 0. Supervisor declares the motion carried and resolution duly adopted. Kelly gets to sign it. All right. Any other questions, board?
I'll give you one.
Any other questions?
Nope.
Okay, what time is it?
7:09.
7:09, I'll announce the Thorn Apple Drive public hearing closed. So, thank you for coming too. Okay. September 6th, regular meeting minutes.
Motion to approve.
Mark, motion approved, second. Butch, all in favor?
Aye.
All right, any public comment, first time, public comment, first time, no, okay. Sheriff's report, Troy.
All right, looks like during the month of September, we had 146 calls for service. Of those, 52 of them were traffic stops.
Okay, thank you. CISA report, Mark,
Well,
yes you can.
we're working through the issues with getting the contracts all straightened around on the increased assessment for ambulance.
Okay.
And last night, there was a special meeting of the CESA board where they relieved Guy of his duties as an at-will employee, so he's no longer chief.
The chief,
Right.
yeah. Okay, special session, whatever.
Yeah, the second special session we've had in 5 or 6 days.
Okay. Okay,
Beyond that, it's down to just 2 municipalities to finalize agreements with. Shiawassee, Township, and Durand. Right?
Well, assuming that Burns signed that.
Oh, Burns, I talked, after the meeting last night, I talked to Tom and they went fine.
Oh,
And the person that was making the big ruckus about the campgrounds didn't show up.
okay.
So that issue is minute, it was approved, everything's good.
oh, good, good.
So yeah, no, it's just down to Durand and Shiawassee Township.
Okay.
Okay, well, good. Anything else on CISA?
No, other than that, lots going on.
Lots going on. Okay, DDA, of course, we didn't meet, but we did have an informal DDA picture taking. It was in the paper, hit the paper.
That's important.
A lot of people there. Yes, I was there. And Justin was there, and we had the owner of the company, Lifetime Metal Sales, which they're coming, Justin talked to me earlier today, and they're coming to our DDA meeting, which is not Wednesday, but Tuesday this month. It'll be the 17th of, Tuesday the 17th of October, so the 18th. Troy and I have a conflict on the 18th. So anyway, yeah, so it was well written. I did a good job. So that was the DDA blurb, I guess you want. Zoning, we did have some zoning, 2 things really. Zoning, got a barn going up on Robert Hero's got something going on, 1200 edition, and we've got another person on Beard Road, some building going up on Beard Road, West Beard Road. And we have 1 violation on Beard Road, Miss Airport. Anyway, so we have that issue there. So that was our,
And there is a hearing tomorrow on the poll issue on Thornapple Drive and
4
District,
o'clock.
and
I'll be
District
there.
Court.
Yeah, I'll be there, and so will Nick, and with the pictures, and Nick, I'm proud of him, he actually got some video from the sky from the satellite views. He thought of you immediately, of course, you know. So that will be going on then. Okay, so County Commission.
Oh, Temple.
Can I ask a
Sure.
question now? Thanks. So Tim Kubu again, regarding the hearing tomorrow for the polls on Thornapple. Is that like a final hearing? Will a decision be made then?
So-
Or
so
can
what
they
it
appeal a
is-
decision, or?
Oh, yeah, well, it's a judicial process, so it could go on forever, but I mean,
Supreme Court, the magistrate's gonna hear it.
so the county issued her a citation for
Okay.
violating the zoning ordinance, you know, and basically giving her a year to fix this or more, and hasn't been fixed. She pled not guilty to it. And so tomorrow's a hearing in district court in front of a magistrate, so.
We'll start, yeah. So anyway, interesting. I just happened to see the magistrate yesterday, but we just talked about other things, but we didn't mention it, but I do know who he is, so hopefully it'll be a positive thing, I hope.
I mean, it's pretty clear cut. The ordinance was violated. I mean, this isn't a
that's the
gray
reason-
area. It says public or private roads, fences have to be X amount back, and it is not. And,
55 polls counted them today. Yeah, so.
so anyway, we'll see what happens tomorrow, but who knows?
County Library, Mark.
Really nothing to report, just kind of
Okay.
wandering along.
Everything's still going along.
Yeah,
Good, okay. I-69, great.
We haven't met since our
CISA, Mark?
CDP.
SCDP.
I mean SCDP.
Okay.
SCDP. Uh-oh.
We had the meeting here.
Oh, yeah.
They enjoyed it. They complimented Kelly and her crew extensively for the remake of the room.
Building.
Yeah, they thought it was very nice in here.
Best in the county.
Yeah, they really thought this was a nice room, and some people had never been here before, and from other townships and stuff.
One person said it looked very, current, modern, you know, I mean, so that was good.
So that was cool. We lost our treasurer, and there was two people vying to replace the position on the board. Sam from S&A Automotive was named treasurer, because I was willing to take a position on the board, but I didn't want to be treasurer, so.
Okay.
Other than that, we are now looking for locations and lunch sponsors for next year's series of meetings. The land bank, we spent time with the the company we hired to do the housing study, and it was pretty extensive and pretty interesting, and the copies will be coming pretty soon. We'll be able to get a copy that can be reviewed here, but it talks a lot about what needs to be done in the way of housing and so forth. He did a pretty good job with that. We do have deadlines coming up on these blight grants. There's a deadline coming up for the 17th of this month for the round 3 blight grants, and then the 1st of November actually for the round 4. The difference between 3 and 4 is 3 is $500,000 that the land bank gets the say in what happens.
Okay.
And round 4 doesn't have a limit. $1 million is the most that can go to one county, but the state land bank authority makes those decisions. So all we can do is recommend, but now the last round, the only one we got through was the tear down of the Welcome Inn up in Wasapurana. So, so those are coming up. So if we know of anybody that needs to get in, they need to,
Soon.
yeah, like now, yeah. And then the Brownfield Authority, we adopted the policies and procedures and so forth, and we have a number of brownfield projects coming up that, oddly enough, brownfield is used more not for cleanup of sites that everybody thought that's what it was. They're used for tax increment financing and a lot of other things, and those are the kind of things that are coming up, so.
Okay, Mark, thanks. Appreciate it. Okay, let's see, Planning Commission here.
Well, we talked about the PUD thing, and I hear you, we got that, we've got
Yeah.
that later, so let's
PUD,
move
yeah,
that.
okay. Yeah, you had a couple of those.
And we made a couple of minor changes on the master plan based on things that had come back, communication that had come back to us.
Okay.
And also wrote a letter about the local control on the renewable energy stuff.
Right.
Talked about the mining situation. That's pretty much it.
Okay, on that, okay. All right. Okay, that's our committees. Financial report,
Just
Troy,
real quick,
and-
I'll mention while we were
Yeah.
on that, we did,
Yeah.
there was a staff report that came through on that special use permit for LA auto sales, so the county will be, that's on, what, this month's agenda? Or no, it was on the September, so that's already
It's
passed.
done, it's done.
Did we hear what they did?
No, no.
And then we also received a site plan application for Beck's propane
Yeah.
for the parcel, that's a minor one, it's nothing we have to take action on.
Yes. They have all the documents for approval. He's gonna put 2 tanks out there, and if you have a propane at your home, you'll be able to fill it there, so. Okay, that's that. Financial report and pay the bills. Troy.
All right, you have your bills list in front of you. When you get to the budget to date portion, that is, we are halfway through the fiscal year. So just, keep that in mind when you're looking at numbers and stuff. Other than that, are there any questions on the bills?
So Lloyd put some grammar report out there, the bill ups and, okay,
Yeah.
okay, good, I see that, okay, good. All right, that's the bills.
Pay 'em.
Mark wants to pay the bills. Anybody want to support that? Butch, second by Butch, okay, roll call vote, Kelly, please.
Mark Foltz.
Yes.
Mark Frazier.
Yes.
Francis Griffin.
Yes.
Kelly Schmidt, yes. Ray Parmalee.
Yes.
We can sure pay those bills fast, can't we?
Get them out
Of
of the
course,
way.
it took Troy 3 days to get them ready. We got them done. All right, correspondence, of course, Troy talked about what we got on the back thing, that's really all I had on that. Any more public comments? Hearing none, we'll move on to unfinished business. And we got a Bearsy Road mining operation update, October 18th, zoning board of appeals, that will be at 7 o'clock, right, Troy?
Yes.
At the Survey building, in Corona.
You know what, I guess just to give an update, I submitted the packet of information that we had given to the zoning board of appeals, and also the one that Rob and Larry had put together with all the pictures, and I had Lynn look at it.
Or Terry.
Right, he thought we covered everything pretty good in there, and he would be surprised that they would go forward with that, but I guess, as we all know, nothing surprises us what happens up there. So, one thing he pointed out again, and he said this to you on the phone, and he's told me, he said, you have to understand that even if they do say there has been activity there, they cannot expand that non-conforming use. And clearly, and point intend to make at the next meeting is, everybody wouldn't have been all upset about this if they had kept, they made the argument that they've been digging a little sand out of the corner hill and using it for some basements and houses they built, and like the neighborhood could come in and fill their pickup truck full or whatever. If that was what they were continuing to do, I don't think anybody would have cared, because nobody noticed that was going on. The problem is, clearly the intent was to expand it. And at least in Lynn's opinion, that cannot happen. He was going to send me some of the case law next week.
Okay.
He didn't have time this week.
Sure.
Just said, it is all case law, it's not in the statute. Where the courts have said you cannot expand, even if it is an existing non-conforming use, you cannot expand the use and make it more non-conforming.
Correct me if I'm wrong, it was just in one area of the property, right?
Yeah, it was in the,
East.
it was in the southeast corner.
Southeast corner, wasn't it?
Yeah, that was the only place that, anything had ever been done, but frankly, nothing had been done there in many, many, many years. You know, so.
Perfect.
Did you have anything you wanted to add, Robin? I mean, you and I talked this week and you've put together a lot of,
Well,
Stuff.
I'm still working on a lot of
Okay.
stuff, and so, I mean, I did find the images. I know it's hard to see, but it really is there, where they started that operation and had not been started in December of 1987, but it was there in December of 1988. And it's just a tiny little blip on a map, but it shows that it was there in 1988, so.
when Robin was getting historical information from other people around, they pointed out that a lot of these kind of popped up when the highway was being built. You know,
69.
and that's, the time frame was 69 was being built in the late 80s there, and so that's what came up. One thing I did want to ask the board, would anybody be opposed if we asked Lynn to attend the meeting?
Our attorney.
No.
Troy and I are planning on going, so,
No, I don't have, I think it's important enough, I think it's a
Yeah.
good idea.
okay.
Do you need a motion, or?
No, I think we're consensus, we're fine.
I mean, he's on, that's what he's for, but we wanna make sure.
Troy, did you want to tell them what Lynn said about Rolls attorney?
Probably not.
Well,
letting them speak for more than their 3
Oh,
minutes.
oh,
When they
yes.
wouldn't let,
well, that wasn't Lynn, that was,
well, but I mean, somebody should have pointed it all out.
right, but Lynn wasn't, I mean, Lynn didn't see that, right,
No,
but,
you explained it.
right. Yes, no, there was concerns from several people about basically letting their
The
attorney
controlling it.
kind of
Yeah.
cross-examine their own client 3 at a time. I mean, the chair shouldn't have allowed that, because that put the attorney over the 3 minutes. You know,
Many minutes.
I mean, you're supposed to get up and just speak during public comment. It's not your job for your attorney to cross-examine you during public hearing. And then, of course, then they cut off Robin's husband, because they said he went over 3 minutes. He kept going though anyway, so.
He attends a lot of
But it was not, I could see the attorney was getting concerned, the county's attorney was concerned.
Our attorney,
The county's
was
attorney,
that he
he's
was
not
there.
our attorney.
I will add, I thought that was recorded and online, and it is not.
I
So
think
I
so.
did file a Freedom of Information Act
okay.
request today to get any video or audio
Details.
recordings
Yeah.
of that meeting, so that.
Kelly thought the light was on the camera.
The blue light was on.
Okay, well, then.
Well, I mean, the county board of commissioners meetings are recorded, you know, but yeah, I didn't know if the zoning board of appeals.
ZBA wasn't.
ZBA never had that.
Right, well, we didn't think, I didn't think
But
so, but I
we
still see
were-
the line.
Well, I know they audio record them, because Linda had a
Oh,
recording device there, so.
Well,
But we've been always informed, and then when I was chair, that the attorney didn't fall under the 3-minute speaking thing.
okay, now,
Well, the problem, it was odd the way they went about it. It was very, I mean, because they weren't, first of all, they weren't the applicant. We're the applicant.
right.
The township was the applicant. They were not the applicant. They were speaking in, you know, opposition to the, I mean, it's one of those
To the
things,
township.
that's a double negative, right? You know,
They were defensive.
yes to stop it, or yes means no, and no means yes, one of those, but I could see the applicant being allowed to go over 3, but they weren't the applicant.
Okay, next on our.
Is there anybody have anything else?
Anybody else? Good, good.
Well, everything's gonna swing positive to what Pete wants to go through.
Well, that's our concern.
But anyway, I do know that Mr. Boggs was present. He had a 9 o'clock meeting, but he was there until 8:30, overseeing and listening to.
Oh, yeah,
everything.
normally the county administrator and
Everything.
several commissioners would not be at those meetings.
And, yes, and so there were, yeah, so anyway, so far, so good. Okay, you guys let me go to the Eagle Water Funding Grant Application Seminar, which was in Kalamazoo. What a way to get to Kalamazoo down 69.
We want our money back because we paid to
Five.
have them keeping.
500 barrels on both sides down the one lane, and then 2 bridges being worked on around Battle
I
Creek.
told you.
Anyway, yeah, you did. And I got there at 9:30, and just in time to hear the director of Eagles finishing up speaking, and so it was 320 people there, all for training, some of them for getting, PE license points, or whatever you want to call it. There were some A, Class A, B, C, and D wastewater people there. There were some F, some water people there to get their license points they needed to maintain their license with the state of Michigan. A lot of people there, people from Fort Wayne, Indiana, people from all over northern Michigan. It was well attended, and it was seminars were very good. One of the best one was on the drinking water that Eagle has. You can get various things, water treatment, storage tanks, pumping stations like the city of Perry needs, source facilities, wells, water mains, water meters, of course galvanized lead replacement. Flint, and some other cities in Michigan are getting their lead lines replaced for free. November 1st is a deadline for applying. This is to guarantee funding for 2025, 2 years off. But we need to go ahead and put a fund in application, it's all you got to do is an intent, a letter of intent to them. It's on their website, very simple to do. But November 1st, but then the details aren't until June of 2024, so we have lots of time.
The long and the short of this is that they've got a bunch of money through the infrastructure funds, and this might be a possibility for the water loop project, but we have to notify them of our intent, basically to get us a spot there by sometime this month. So that would be just to,
Possibly secure funding.
right. So we're earmarked, we're marked in there, and doesn't mean we'll get anything, and
Do you need a motion on that?
yes.
Okay, motion that we apply with a letter of intent for financing with Eagle.
Thank you. Okay.
I'll second it.
Seconded by Kelly. Okay, all in favor? All in favor?
Aye.
Okay, thanks.
Again, this is just to.
No money, it's just.
This
the
is
application.
just to secure us so we could put in an application, and you were gonna talk to the city to make sure they did the same thing.
Now that we have that approval, I'll talk to Sue about it. Okay, thank you. Audit, Troy.
All right, so you have your audit in the box. It's a good bedtime read if you're looking for one. I was going to ask if, they haven't come and talked to us in a few years. I was gonna see if maybe at the November or December meeting, they just come, just to come and,
Sure.
Go over it.
Didn't see anything.
No, the audit was fine, I guess highlights overall are, our general fund balance increased by $21,000 during the fiscal year, so that's a good direction. It's the normal stuff.
Was this right here? Net position, 1.5 million, excluding component unit. What is a component
So
unit?
the DDA, the DDA is a component unit. So you'll see in a lot of there, they lump a lot of our other funds, we have the improvement and then the investment in the land and building, they lump that all into general in there, because it's general money. It's not restricted like the special assessment fund or the DDA fund or the sewer fund or the ARPA money. So that's what they lump all those together. So,
Do we need a motion to approve?
yes, we have to have a motion to accept, and like I said, I will see if Daniel or Luke will come to our November or December meeting just to, give an overview. But yeah, we need to have it on file, because
They were here about 2 or 3 days doing it.
yeah, they're here 2 or 3 days
2 or
every
3
year.
days, yeah. Yes, sir.
Yeah, do you guys post that online?
It's on our website.
Okay.
Motion to approve the audit.
Okay, Marsh made a motion to approve the audit. Butch has seconded it.
Yeah,
Roll call vote, Kelly.
Mark Frazier.
Yes.
Francis Griffin. Yes. Kelly Schmidt, yes. Troy Connolly.
yes.
Mark Wolf.
Yes. Okay, planned unit development. Shiawassee County. Troy, we all got this,
Yeah,
we got this
let Mark
copy.
talk about that, or the
Mark?
planning commission that's here.
Okay. Planning unit, it's August 28th, right? That no?
Yes.
Okay.
Well, our big thing in the planning commission was that we felt that any time that somebody applied for a PUD, that there should be a public hearing, at least one, so that the public has an opportunity to voice their opinion on it. We didn't feel that eliminating them from the process was the proper way to do that. I think that was our big thing that we came up with, but you guys have been talking about something to do with the first paragraph. What were you talking about?
The concern was that that it would allow, the PUD allows flexibility of approving improvements that may not otherwise be accounted for in the ordinance, as long as a substantial benefit to the greater community is recognized.
The word
The
substantial.
problem is,
benefit.
well, but there's also, but the problem is it gives the zoning administrator some kind of broad authority in there, such that if he feels that it is an improvement to it, he can approve it without it going back to the planning commission or something else. And given our problems with the zoning administrator, I think that, when Kelly and I both saw it, we were concerned. I mean,
Well, I guess I understand that concern. I would be too.
do we know what has inspired this?
Well, I would guess that there's something, well, I know
I mean,
there's,
there's a reason they're looking at this, and, you know, you never know what the,
Why now?
yeah, right.
yeah,
What are they up to?
see, Durand does their own, so I don't know why that project would inspire, but Durand has a project that is, single-family, multi, a number of things, and it ends up with 200 or 300 residences on a chunk of property. And of course, the PUD also allows some commercial on it if you wanted to. So
I was just curious,
maybe Owasso Township does their own. I don't know.
One of those meetings I was in, Pete was talking about, who was there, I don't know if it was a planning committee, anyway, a group up there that were trying to update our files. our
Yeah,
records.
no, I mean, if they're just trying to go through the ordinance and keep it updated, that's fine,
I think that's
but
what-
that's not what they do.
No,
Right,
that's what they said.
They,
we
they
use-
have something brewing behind the scenes, and they need to fix something before it comes up.
20-some years ago.
Sorry,
when I
maybe
lived
I'm
in-
being too
Yeah,
mean.
When I lived in northern Oakland County, PUDs were
Public hearing,
fairly common
and like
because of that type of development. You might use it for a golf course, combination housing development, that kind of thing. And I think your concerns are valid, because by the general nature of it, it does make it easier to present a mixed development, so.
No, the concept is fine, the concept is fine, but, well, I guess I would make a motion to concur with the planning
Sure.
commission's
Well,
proposal.
I'm sorry. Mark, the issue about the public hearing on the initial proposal, I can't remember if that's in the language there now.
It's not.
Okay.
It's
But
in,
we
it's
will.
in your recommendation to
But
us.
there was also language in the proposal that they could make changes to
Yes.
the PUD plan, and we thought that should require another public hearing.
Right.
So the public is aware of what's going on.
Sure.
You weren't super clear in your comments on that, but that's where I was going.
Okay,
So,
all right, sorry. Because that's what we discussed both.
I would make a motion that we concur with the planning commission's recommendation and add to it our concern with part 13.1.1 and giving the zoning administrator too much authorization to make changes.
And not follow the ordinance.
I'll second that. Sure. You made that, Kelly. Motion.
Yeah, voice
All
votes.
in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
think that covers it, don't you?
Yeah, the only real problem you've got there is that language that says substantial change. See, who's determining whether it's substantial
Well,
change?
that's why, I mean, that needs,
That
It needs to-
wishy-washiness,
you can't just let the zoning administrator determine it.
no.
Well,
We're clear on that. That's fine.
Well, I mean, when they lay all, right, because that's an open-ended thing. So, I think,
All right, Kelly's got a couple bids for us to talk about on the snow plowing, assuming we're going to go snow this year.
Yes, snow season's around the corner. So I got two bids. One is from,
Suggit.
Suggit, yeah.
the guy.
Suggit, he did ours last year. He increased his rates by about $20.
So he did it the last 2 years, right?
Mhm,
And
last
he
year.
held the price last year, though, right?
So in looking at
This year's.
the Suggit bid, this year he wants $100 per push or per plow for the township hall, and last year was $80. He added this in, I don't recall this being in there, but he added in holidays, all the holidays, and he lists them, would be at $150 per plow.
because we had the incident on Christmas last year.
Oh,
Yeah.
yeah, so basically time and a half.
Salting,
Is that holiday push, is that by his discretion or ours?
But we didn't ask for that, he put that in his
Yeah.
proposal.
But I mean, if it snows enough, is he gonna come plow and charge us the $150 even if we don't have the hall rented? Or,
Oh, no, we give him a calendar.
Oh, no, he knows. They
You know,
know.
we give him a calendar when there's events.
right,
okay.
he only plows when there's hall rentals.
What happened is last year, we had that snowstorm on
remember.
Christmas, and he plowed it the night before, well, then it drifted in, and somebody had it printed on Christmas Day, and it was,
The neighbor had to plow out.
yeah, it was,
It's not.
well, yeah.
And it could
Go ahead.
happen.
Okay,
It could happen
and
again.
then, salting, the parking lot here and the sidewalks, last year was $85, the proposed is $125.
Okay.
And then estimated, for the cemetery, last year was $115, and this year it's $150.
Okay.
Focal Point was the other. He broke it out into the north and south cemetery. And if you add the two together, it's $150 per plow. Let's see. To plow the parking lot here and to do the sidewalks is $125 each time. And then to salt the lot and the sidewalks is $75.
Did they salt every time they plow?
Sometime,
I think the contract says upon request. But I think for like Tuesdays and Wednesdays, we told them to make sure that it got salted.
yeah.
And then if they thought it was bad around, the rentals, to go ahead and do it too. We really didn't make a big stink about them throwing salt down, because we'd rather them do that and pay for it.
We
than
made
fall.
it very clear that in the case of, if he's not sure, just plow it. You know, I mean,
And he got better toward the end, but anyway. That was
we had
that.
some rough.
Now, this new one is the people that put in the flowers around the township hall.
Right, and they have
That's the
they have
people.
a place right there in Perry, next to Perry Automotive,
Oh.
that landscape place.
Oh, yeah, that's right.
Their headquarters is in Wilmington, but
So
they
they do
have,
Williamson, and they do, okay.
but they're local for it.
So Suggit only has 2 trucks. He has 2 trucks. I asked Kelly how many, and this other outfit has 5. They have 5 tall trucks and 2 loaders. Anyway, they got a little more equipment than what we had in the last couple of years.
Yeah, Focal Point, they plow Williamston and Weber Hills Fire Departments.
This is their little letter.
Yes, yeah, we asked for that today.
Fowlerville, Weberville Post Offices, a church in Williamston, and 3 churches between Fowlerville and Williamston, and also the Taco Bell.
Taco Bell here, right?
Well, most of their 5 trucks are gonna be down there
Where?
Taco Bell.
Where?
in Williamston,
Oh,
in Fowlerville. They're not gonna be up here.
Yeah, well, I guess, I don't know.
I mean, if they salt,
way-
if
either way, they gotta
the
drive
salting
away.
happens a lot, they have a better bid. If the salting doesn't happen a lot, then the other guy is probably, but
You know, I mean, I'm not saying that we were dissatisfied, but we
Try to stay on it.
had to stay on it,
And
yes.
stay with
I mean,
the
there
program,
was a
which-
couple Tuesdays where we had, you know, I got here in the morning, there was 6 inches of snow in front of the door, you know, and
We shoveled a lot.
I did too, yeah, we all shoveled, yeah.
and
well,
I,
you wanna
Are you
try to,
happy with?
Like I told Kelly,
with
we can
the,
try it a year and see how it goes, we can always, you know,
Are you happy with what they've done on the building?
pretty
The-
happy,
the-
yes.
Landscape? I think so.
Give them a try.
I mean, we can give it a try, it won't hurt.
make a motion, to approve the proposal from Focal Point Landscape for snow
Second.
plowing.
How much was it last year before we, how much was it last year we paid roughly?
Oh gosh, I don't
I
know.
don't know.
I didn't look that
Okay.
up.
It's not a ton. I mean,
So just a per,
this is per incident. I mean, if we get a lot of snow, it costs more. If we don't, it doesn't.
We need a roll call on this.
so who made the
I mean,
motion?
I would say it's less than 5 cents.
Troy made the motion, I second.
Troy and then Mark, okay, roll call vote, Kelly.
All right, Paul Schmidt, yes. Trey Carmelli?
Yes.
Mark Foltz? Mark Foltz?
Answer.
Got a phone call. Yes.
Mike Mark Frazier?
Yes.
And Francis Griffin?
Yes.
Mark says, how could it be this hard?
I'm just gonna start bringing the riding car. Be a lot
Okay, any additional comments from our wonderful audience? Oh,
Well, Tom,
wait, we've got our man about town here.
About Township.
About Township, yeah, right.
Well, I did redress the fact that I missed the last 2 months of Woodhull Township
Oh,
meetings, so I went over there first.
I understand.
I'll just say, you know, a big issue that we have to face both on the township level and county level is the efforts by the governor to preempt township and county zoning with respect to wind and solar projects. And it's a separate effort that's been ongoing even longer to preempt local communities' siting of, this will be familiar to you all, gravel pits or
Right.
mineral extraction. Those are big issues. I just attended the MAC conference, Michigan Association of Counties, last weekend, and those, MAC is very active on that, and hopefully you'll be pushing the Township Association to, it would be, to me, it would be disastrous, for example, on the solar projects and wind projects, if the Public Service Commission was in charge of siting. I mean, local communities would have precious little influence on it then, so,
One thing though, is it true that the governor's trying to get the session ended so that the February vote will be able to have an earlier
Presidential primary.
presidential primary? Will- And
yes,
so
yeah.
it sounds like her main objective is the wind and solar rather than anything else right now. It sounds like the pressure, from what I heard last night from Brian Bedeau, that it sounds like the pressure's on for that first, and they may run out of time for anything else.
Yeah.
I'm not sure they have time to do either.
And they may
No.
not, they may not.
Mark and I were at a meeting last night, at the MTA meeting for the county, for the county. And what Brian said was, as you know, this renewable energy thing was supposed to be introduced early in September. Hasn't been introduced yet. And now they're looking to end the session early so they can have an early presidential primary here in Michigan. And then they have to have, 90 days or something from the end of session to the election.
To the effectiveness.
So
Because
it
they
would
didn't
be-
get a, they didn't
so
get
they've got
immediate
about a
effect.
month, they've got about a month to do anything, and the legislation still isn't even introduced.
True.
Now, it would be fast-tracked, there's no doubt about that,
Oh, yeah.
but Brian thinks that they don't have 100% support of their Democrats. and that's why nothing's happening,
Okay,
okay?
okay.
And,
Is that tight?
yeah, it's, well, because they only have 1 or 2 votes in both houses. So, so he's thinking that it may not make it at all, this
Now,
session.
what happened yesterday or the day before? The state declared solar projects agricultural?
No,
No.
not exactly. At least, if you're talking about PA 116, is that what we're talking about?
Well, all I know is there was a news blurb on the internet last night that the state of Michigan had declared solar projects under agricultural designation, and they're called solar farms by the state of Michigan now.
But they're trying all kinds of things. I mean,
What if maybe under Act 116, which is state control, they may, and that, they can basically define what is agricultural.
Right.
So I assume, I didn't hear that, and I haven't seen it. I assume what they're trying to do, they would use their authority there to declare the solar projects as an agricultural
That, they've already done that
basis.
by executive order since
Yeah.
2019, Troy, isn't it? That if you are in PA 116, you don't lose your PA 116 status if you put solar,
you can't collect any
Devices.
tax credits.
but you
during
don't
that
lose it or
time.
have to
But-
pay
but-
it back.
But normally, yes, with PA 116, you're entered into a farmland
Preservation.
preservation agreement where you basically lease your development rights to the state. And you can't do anything, you can't build anything on that. And there's some very, very limited exceptions to pull out stuff that are extremely special cases. And even if you did that, then you have to pay your last 7 years of back taxes to the state with interest and penalty.
Right.
What they did was, yes, in 2019, they allowed solar panels or wind turbines to be put on PA 116 land
Without
which-
penalty.
without penalty, because I mean, that would be, you're building something on it.
It's a
You're not-
commercial use, it's
Yeah,
not
right.
agricultural
and
use.
you normally couldn't do that, and they did that, which well, I mean, they
That's
just,
what happened. That's
they
just-
did it,
The
right?
governor did it, yes.
You know, the
That
governor
was
did it.
executive order.
Right, and it basically paused your agreement during the period that you had these solar panels on there. But now they're trying to codify it into law, because eventually somebody may challenge that.
Yeah, I think what you probably heard, Mark, was there's been a bill introduced now in the legislature on that same topic.
Okay.
I mean, I think they're probably getting some pushback from
You think?
constituents and stuff on this. I mean, these are really hot topics around the state, and what MTA is, MTA is on this, believe me. I mean, and
They are.
they're not taking a side on solar, but they're taking the side that this is local decision-making, and Michigan Farm Bureau's taking a position on it too. Again, this is very controversial in the agricultural community, because if they're putting it on your land, those people are generally okay with this. Because there's a big check that comes along with it. But again, their position is back to, this is a local decision, not a state decision. And so they're getting a lot of groups from the Association of Counties, and I don't know if the municipal league is involved, because there's probably not a lot of solar lined up for in cities or villages, but they're gonna be concerned about local control. So all the local government groups and stuff together, and they don't have enough vote cushion there.
Well, I think the other thing that Brian pointed out was so many of the state legislators come from local government. And so they are, they're really thinking those terms. And so they're having trouble getting the votes.
On the other hand, it could get introduced and passed in a day.
Exactly.
That's happened before.
Yes.
But
Stay tuned.
well, MTA keeps us well up to date, and believe me, if they try and do something quick, we will get emails and texts, and, they will be on it. That's why we have the lobbyists.
Well, the fact that they're going the legislative route is significant, because the legislature can amend the law.
Right.
The governor issuing an executive order that has the effect of amending a statute is not legal.
Right.
But if they get it passed through the legislature, that would be a significant difference, although it would be incongruous to say that these solar projects are agriculture. I mean, that's, but
My
the
concern is,
legislature could do that.
my concern is what they'll do is they will tie bar these two issues together, and they might get enough votes then. They'll tie bar the state control of sand and gravel operations and state control of siting solar projects, and they'll put them together in the same bill, and they'll get enough people on both sides of the aisle to pass it. That'd be my concern.
Now, MTA said, been told they won't do that because it's been 14 years and they haven't got enough support on the sand and gravel. So
Okay,
they don't want that to affect
the solar.
the.
Right, but
the other.
if somebody's counting votes, and they can get, and they can get 50, what do they gotta have, 56 in the House and 19 in the Senate, you know, if they,
Anything
if they
can
can
happen.
get, anything can happen if they can get that. 20, is 20? Okay.
Yeah, but there's quite, in the Focus, there was quite an article on the 116 in August.
Yeah.
Now in October's Focus, there's quite an article on the mining and the solar, in this month.
And the planning commission has prepared very nice letters to send to the representative, senator, our state senator, representative, and the governor.
In the governor's office.
Okay, well, anything else, Tom?
No,
Everything good?
no, but I don't
Thanks
have
for-
anything else.
Thanks for coming to that zoning, we appreciate it, Tom.
Motion to adjourn.
Motion to adjourn, who seconded
So
it?
these,
Mark?
going to
All in favor?
tonight.
Aye.
Good night.